Today is National Rosa Parks Day.
Our lunch options for today are pepperoni calzone, BLT chef salad, and turkey bacon ranch wrap.
Our sides today are corn and baked sweet potatoes.
In national news, North Korea has tested fired a brand new intercontinental ballistic missile. Experts have been analyzing and studying the images since they released. So, what can we learn from them about North Korea's new weapon? Here's CNN with the rest of the story.
MTV is bringing back one of its most popular reality TV shows, Jersey Shore. However, this show is going to have a family feel. The new show will reunite most of the cast from the original show, which became a pop culture phenomenon while it's running from 2009 to 2012. Most of the cast has moved on to bigger careers, and the new reunited show is set to air in 2018.
Jim Nabors died on Thursday in Honolulu, Hawaii at 87. He was famous for singing the song Back Home in Indiana at the Indy 500. He starred on shows like Gorma Powell, The Andy Griffith Show. He will be truly missed.
Now to James with your sports news.
Thank you, Anchor. Swimming and diving trials begin today. Last night, the boys lost by 6. Swimming and diving trials begin today. Last night, the 7th grade boys lost by just 6 points to Creston Middle School and got knocked out of the county tournament. The 8th grade team beat Creston and will advance in the tournament playing Saturday at 10:15 here at Belzer. Wrestling practices begin Monday, December 4th. Please remember that students must have a completed IHSSA physical packet in the athletic office in order to try out for any of these teams. The next home games are at the Count Tournament on December 2nd. This week in history, the first international soccer game happened in Scotland draws with England. The Ellen versus LC basketball game will be at Lawrence Central next Wednesday. You must have an ID and be accompanied by an adult. Pre-sale tickets are for $6 at 8:30 on Wednesday. Now back to our anchors.
Thanks, James.
This afternoon, orchestra will be visited by Drew Ford, who is a famous viola player. Welcome, Mr. Ford.
Remember to complete the Learn More assignment in Canvas by next Friday to be eligible for a prize from Ms. Neal and Mr. Landers.
Here are students with an important yearbook announcement.
Have you bought a yearbook yet?
If you haven't, you're missing out.
You can use an app called Erasma to view videos in the yearbook. And you can start payment plans at C110.
Easy as that.
Buy a yearbook.
Thank you for the information about yearbook videos and the reminder to get our yearbook orders in or to start a payment plan soon.
On this day in history, in 1982, Michael Jackson's studio album Thriller was released.
Today's celebrity birthday is actress and singer Janelle Monáe, who is turning 32 today. She's best known for starring in the movies Moonlight and Hidden Figures.
The quote of the day is from Justin Bieber, who once said, "No matter how talented you are, not everybody's going to like you, but that's life. Just stay strong."
Here's Mr. Harsha with the rest of your morning announcements. Have a great day, Bruins.
Good morning, Bruins. Glad that we had that little special about the yearbooks. Every single year we have students, when the yearbooks actually come out, say, "Oh my gosh, I wish I would have bought one." So please make sure that you are getting yours purchased or starting a payment. Mrs. Trotter, as you saw this morning, not only are there lots of great pictures of all of your friends and classmates and people here at Belzer, teams, clubs, teachers, everything, but there also are those links to some really cool videos. So make sure you get that taken care of. The second thing I want to talk about is the LC versus LN basketball game, and I know our anchors mentioned that that game is next Wednesday, December the 6th, and I want to make sure everybody really pays attention to the details here. That is typically a game in Lawrence Township that is a really big, exciting game. In fact, most times that we have this game, they sell out of tickets. So they are going to start pre-sale of tickets both at Lawrence North and Lawrence Central. You can get tickets. They are expecting a big crowd because both schools have really competitive teams. Please understand that the rules are going to be the exact same as they have been all year. The same exact rules that we followed for the football season will now be put into place for basketball. So they mentioned it, but I want to mention it again. You must have a ticket, obviously, in order to get into the game. You must have a student ID. So if you are thinking that next week you want to go to that game on Wednesday night, understand that the Lawrence Central staff will have people standing at the door, and they will ask you for your ID to show that you are a Belzer student. You've got to have your ID. If you don't, you need to get into student services ASAP and make sure that you get a replacement ID ordered. The third thing that you have to have is an adult. They are not permitting groups of middle school students to show up to the games without adult supervision. So as long as you have an older brother or sister, aunt, uncle, mom or dad, whoever it might be, as long as they are an adult, they can accompany you to the game. Bottom line is they want to make sure that you're supervised by an adult while you're there. So keep that in mind if you want to come out to that game next Wednesday. Lastly, many of you already know this news, but I want to make sure that I share with the staff because I've had a few students that have come up to approach me. Last week, Lawrence Township lost one of its leaders and one of its educators. Mr. Marlon Sam was a dean and an assistant to the principal at Brook Park, so I know many students knew him through that role. He went on to be an assistant principal at Lawrence Central High School, and last week Mr. Sam passed away. Many of you also know that Mr. Sam's son, Malcolm, is a 7th grader here at Belzer. Plays on the basketball team and so forth, and I have had a number of students come up to me and say, what can we do? What is, if I want to write a card or a note to Malcolm, what can I do? So I just wanted to make this announcement to make sure that you're aware. If you'd like to spend this time in college prep or sometime today or even one day next week to write a card, just to let Malcolm know that the Belzer family is thinking about him, you can feel free to do that, and you can drop those off in student services with Miss Neal, with Miss Benson Heater, Mr. Landers, whoever might be there in student services. Will collect those and make sure that we get them on to the Sam family. So that's all that I've got for announcements today. Let's make it a great Friday.